So iOS 14 update has happened. There's been a lot of fallout from it. Specifically, for most clients that I see, cost per action has gone up. The effectiveness of reporting has gone down. And so we're I think, losing some significant points of data. If you're having any kinds of trouble with cost per action going up, or you're having difficulty getting the results that you used to get on Facebook, this video is for you. We're going to talk about a few things that you can do to make sure that you're going to get your marketing back on track. Because at the end of the day, it's pretty scary when you have ads that are working, they're working well, and then all of a sudden something changes that's completely out of your control, and all of a sudden you don't know what to do or how to fix it. So let's get into today's video. The first thing that I think is very, very important is, number one, that you have to have tracking set up that actually gives you the ability to understand what's happening. So when we say, how do we set up tracking? The first thing you have to do is, what is the end conversion goal? What is it that we're trying to do? Are we trying to get an email address? Are we trying to get a text? Are we trying to get a sale? Are we trying to get somebody to like or follow? Those are the important questions that we need to know. So what is it that we're trying to do? And then number two is, how is the most effective, the easiest, and the most accurate way that we're going to be able to track this? For a lot of people, the easiest way is going to be having a landing page that's specific to the campaign, so that you can say, okay, this landing page that I have here, the only way for people to get to this landing page is through this ad. And so when you have that set up and that level of simplicity, it's definitely a lot more work, especially if you're creating ads at scale. If you're creating ads at scale, I would highly suggest a product like Hyros or a Wicked reporting type thing, but that costs money. So I'm talking about if you're not spending, let's say, $5,000 or less in ads every month, creating individual landing pages, individual offers. You have a landing page for your Google ads, each one of the campaigns that you have. You have a landing page for the Facebook ads that you have, each one of the campaigns that you have. And that way you can say, okay, I got 24 clicks and 5 opt-ins. It cost me this much. Here's how this is performing. So I think that a lot of the things that we're going to be losing, especially in the future with all of these iOS updates and the increased push for at least the perception that Apple is caring about the privacy of its users, I think that it's just going to get more and more difficult. And so having kind of the old tools that direct response marketers have always used, I mean, people send out direct mail and they're able to track that, right? People have done newspaper ads and they're able to track that. They do that with specific URLs, specific landing pages, and we track every micro conversion across that. And I think that that's really, really important to consider and to think about. So number one, you need to make sure that you're able to track what's actually happening. And so I know so many of us in the marketing space have become lazy because pixels are awesome. Conversion pixels and conversion tracking has been really, really cool. But I definitely see this as a problem. The second thing that you can do is you can do more native advertising. And so the action is happening on the platform itself rather than taking them off-site. So if you can set up a Facebook shop, and I think this is ultimately what Facebook's going to have to do, is get a lot more serious about their native conversion process so that everything is happening inside the app. They don't have to go outside to get all of this tracking done. So I think that that's very, very important. The third thing that I think you need to get really, really clear on is, who is the actual demographic that you're trying to reach, and what does that person look like? I know so many Facebook advertisers, they used to say, like, I'm just going to create a 2% lookalike audience, or I'm not even going to put any targeting. I remember people saying, I'm not doing any targeting, and the Facebook algorithm is so good that it's creating sales for me. And that seems insane. I never ran campaigns like that, but I know people who actually said that. So we're losing data because people are not tracking conversions properly, because their conversions are being blocked from being tracked. And so as a result, it makes sense that Facebook's targeting is going to get less effective over time. So it's, I think, really, really important that you get and hone down, who is your offer for, what is the offer about, and how can you target those people. Facebook is still going to have demographic data that's native to the app. We're going to be able to know who you are, where you live, what other stuff you're engaging with inside of the app. And so demographic targeting is still going to be there. So I think that that's really, really important. I think the last thing that we'll talk about here that I think is going to be very, very effective is, how can you create a campaign that is going to be transactional. So what are your customers looking for? Instead of how can we disrupt somebody's attention and bring awareness to our product or service. And I understand that certain products and services are better tailored for kind of disruption and awareness branding type marketing versus like search. So let's say that you are a realtor, for example. Now realtors are, they have a certain set of rules that are associated with who they can target and things, so they're pretty much limited already. But if you're a realtor, you want to create ads that make people aware of your services. You could also target people that are searching for your services on Google. So targeting people that are taking action, and ad networks that are behavioral targeting. So they do an action, they go perform a search, they're on a site, they're doing something. These are the people that are actively in the marketplace and are already somewhere in that funnel of converting. And so figuring out how to target these people is really, really profitable. It's a little bit more complicated. It's usually a little bit more competitive because Google Ads have been around for a lot longer, especially if you're in a space like insurance or attorneys or, very saturated niche markets. It can be more difficult. That's why I think it's really, really important that you get crystal clear on who it is that you're trying to target, what it is that they're looking for, what are the main benefits that they're looking for, and then how can you be different, and how can you show up in a way that is different and authentic so that you stand out, so that the right kinds of clients are going to want to come and work with you instead of just, anybody off the street. And I know that a lot of businesses, when I ask the business owner, who would you like to have coming into your business or your practice, they say, pretty much anybody. But that is almost always the wrong answer. If you're doing paid advertising, you want the best clients that are going to be the highest value clients, the least amount of work clients, and they'll give you the best return for the advertising money that you're spending. So really try to kind of reverse engineer, how are we going to drive people into our business? What if Facebook went away? Let's think of multiple different ad networks that we could run ads. And then I think the last thing that's just really, really important, and it highlights the importance of owning your own media. So having great amount of traffic sources, organic, Google My Business, maps, email lists, text lists, social channels outside of Facebook and Instagram, but also Facebook and Instagram, your TikTok, your YouTube, and just being really well diversified across all of these platforms so that when something changes, you're not sunk or you're not scrambling. And I think that that's really, really important. So if you have any questions at all, please comment down below. If you want to text me, you can text me right there. And I will respond to you. But if you have any marketing questions, just let me know. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Have a good day, everybody. Bye.